We missed the flight. Hello cruisers, welcome to our channel. Today Daryl and I are traveling from the East Coast all the way to Seattle, Washington so we can begin our first 7-day cruise to Alaska.
Everybody in first class. I thought he was getting us first class tickets, but he lied. Well, we all the way at 38B.
So we made it to Charlotte from Tampa, and we are planning to get to Seattle in order to board the Ovation of the Seas for our 7-day Alaska cruise. And so we were doing good. We made it to Charlotte via American Airlines. We made it actually early, and we get here to Charlotte and we had about an hour before time for us to board the second half to Seattle. And things are looking well. The board says on time, but we got one problem, people. Ain't no plane there. There's no plane. But the board still says on time. So clearly somebody failed to communicate. So we are in the holding zone and we are waiting to see what the outcome of that is, but we are hoping to make it in a timely fashion because we like to spend some time in Seattle before our ship departs for our 7-day Alaskan cruise. But right now, no plane. So, and here's the thing. Somebody needs to update the board because the board says on time, leaving on time, no issues. Clearly, Houston, we have a problem. Are you ready for this? So it is 11:25 a.m. And if you remember, the last time that I came to you, it was 9:26. And I was talking about the plane not being there. Well, y'all are not gonna guess what happened. We missed the flight. Sitting in the airport at the gate, albeit a little far from the gate, we missed the flight. Now let me tell you what happened. What had happened was, when we got to the gate this morning, we had about an hour of kill time. But when I tell you all here at Charlotte Airport, it is crowded, it is packed. So we went to the gate, there were no seats by the gate whatsoever. There was nothing even close. So we sat down maybe 2 gates farther away. We sit down 2 gates farther away, we're looking at people, we're watching the time, we're watching YouTube, looking at YouTube. And at 9:24, I say, we're supposed to be leaving. Why haven't we heard anything? Now, I will say, I'll admit, we did hear somebody say on the PA system, Williams. But what does that mean? Williams is a common name. We're not thinking we're missing anything. Y'all, the plane actually showed up and we didn't even see it. We didn't hear anything. We didn't hear our gate. And because there were 2 gates right next to each other, when we saw people boarding, we thought it was the gate next to us because that's how close those gates were together. We thought it was the gate next to ours. And we missed our whole flight sitting right in the airport. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, I boo-hoo cried. I ain't gonna even lie, I boo-hoo cried. But you know what? Mr. Man here, he did what he always does. He stayed focused. Because I could not focus. I was mad. So he found us another flight. Unfortunately, it was a heavy price to pay. We did have to buy another ticket because it was our fault that we missed the flight. It was not the fault of the airline. So we had to buy another flight, which doesn't leave until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Arriving, we got to go from here to San Francisco and from San Francisco to Seattle. And we get in Seattle at like midnight, which means that guess what? We lost out on our day in Seattle. We had planned to sightsee in Seattle, and so we lost out on the day of doing that. But I'm better now. I've recovered. As you can see, we're sitting at an airport. We are watching some of the other planes take off. We have ordered some food and we're just gonna kill time. And guess what? We're still on vacation and our ship doesn't leave till tomorrow anyway. So we'll get in tonight. Even though we missed our flight right here in the airport, we're still happy to get ready for our first Alaskan cruise. So here we are. Here's the newest update. We got a plane. We got a plane. And we are here. We're not gonna miss this one. So we got a plane. We are here and we are ready to board in a matter of minutes. And so it's been okay. I was distraught at first, but it's been okay. And Daryl and I have watched movies and laughed and people watch just to keep ourselves entertained for the last several hours that we've been here in Charlotte. But now it is time for us to move on to San Francisco, California. So we will give you an update when we get there. But one thing we're not gonna do is miss this cruise. That's what we're not gonna do. Finally, y'all, guess what? We made it to San Francisco. And now, all we have to do is find Terminal 2. But somehow we ended up outside of the airport and into the parking garage. I mean, we had no idea where we were going. After a bit of walking around, we finally found our way back into the airport. We had to ask lots of questions, but we made it. Even my watch thought I was exercising. Eventually, we made it to our gate just to run into this. Look at this TSA line. Ain't nobody got time for that. We gotta make a connecting flight. This is out of control. But guess what? By some grace of God, we made the flight. And before you know it, welcome to Seattle. Now, that's not where it ended, because once we got to Seattle, we had to go find our luggage that had been sent from Tampa and made it to Seattle hours before us. So now we had to go find the baggage claim area where we could pick up our luggage. I'm telling y'all, it felt like a trip from hell, and it was midnight and we were tired. But this dude right here helped us out. We got us an Uber, which was pretty cool because the Ubers in Seattle are all Prius or Teslas. So that was pretty cool. Once we got into our Uber ride, we were headed and on our way to finally getting some rest after a very long trip. We made it, y'all.